Now we have talked about creativity, we have talked about technology, we have talked about money and finance, and now we talk about ecosystems. As I mentioned earlier, the kick is nothing but if there's not ecosystem. And our next speaker knows about ecosystem big time. Our next speaker is Michael Blackman, Managing Director of Integrated Systems Events, the organizer and owner of Integrated Systems Europe. He is, where's Michael Blackman? He is an avid tech fan. Oh, here he comes. He is an avid tech fan. He has been involved in technology publishing and events for more than 40 years and is now celebrating 20 years focused on the audiovisual sector with ICE, or ISE. Under his stewardship, ISE has created more events and conferences focused on audiovisual systems, integration and solutions, making Europe's leading organizer for the sector. Please a warm welcome to Michael Blackman.
So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for such a nice welcome. It makes me feel old, though. I want to talk to you about, tell you a little bit about ISE, but mostly tell you about our industry. And I say our industry because you're part of this. And we split how we define the people in this industry into those who buy and sell the products to make installations, create solutions, and install them for end customers, and then the end customers. We're only B2B. We're not interested in consumers, unfortunately. And mostly these consumers will not understand what ISE is about. They like what they see, but here's a few images to actually show you what the event is. Most people get confused when they first come to ISE. They think it's about screens. It's not about screens, it's about solutions. And we try to be very clear to everybody about what to expect. It's now grown to be the largest audiovisual and systems integration event in the world. We anticipate this year to have over 1,200 exhibitors from about 90 different countries. Very large presence from China. There's a lot of development. There's a lot of new products, new solutions coming from the Chinese market. Very strong presence from Europe and the US. More importantly, sorry, I'm used to walking around. Just tell you a little bit about the market. We're in a very large market that I'm hearing also about the budgets that are available, and it makes me smile to know that those people in the industry have potential on where it's growing. This is a prognosis we're owned by two industry associations. AVIXA stands for the Audio Visual Integrated Experience Association, and CEDIA, Custom Electronic Design Industry Association. AVIXA covers the commercial market and CEDIA the residential market. Their prognosis for the next 5 years is showing tremendous growth in this industry. And we anticipate that by 2028, the industry itself worldwide will be worth over $400 billion. So, again, a lot of spending going on, and glad to hear that some of it's coming from here. We've seen this year that recession has been on a concern for everybody. And most of the industry has looked and actually said, well, Is it going to be a big recession? Is it going to be a mild recession? Or is it going to be nothing at all? What we're looking at is the majority of people in our industry think this recession will be mild, if at all, and some countries won't be affected at all. A major recession is unlikely. We've had issues like supply chain problems in the beginning of this year that really affected the industry, with war, with we had the Suez Canal blocked. We had other issues that really affected the supply chain. That is now getting back to normal. So the industry is starting to recover, and we're seeing that projects can actually happen. There were a lot of projects that didn't happen because of the supply chain problems. This is showing, and again, I want to highlight Europe because I think that's what you're interested in. And what we're seeing is that the largest market actually is North America. But Asia Pacific is growing, but the European market is keeping up and showing potential for growth. And when we look at that, you see the effect of where we are in this market, where the growth has been, and looking at compound annual growth rate of almost 6% shows a lot of potential in this market and where it's going. Wasn't me. If we look at the sectors which are the most important, obviously collaboration tools, office space, commercial market, this has been the biggest. It's also showing good growth as well. Oh, it's warm here. But we've also seen the rebound of the live events industry. We're seeing the broadcast industry coming back as well. Media, multimedia tools are growing again. Hospitality is coming back, and particularly transportation. If you're traveling, you'll see a lot of airports, train stations are now actually going back to remodernizing their facilities and changing the way they deal with their customers. We see new digital signage systems going into those to actually help not only giving wayfinding information, but advertising as a money source for those organizations. This is our projections on where those markets are growing and which are the biggest ones. And again, what we're seeing here is a development in the transportation, hospitality. Those industries that really suffered during the pandemic are coming back. They're reinvesting. They're putting more money into it. The companies themselves are actually, hotels, restaurants, train hubs, etc., are starting to reinvest and put more and more equipment in place to actually modernize and get over this hiatus they had for the last 3 years. There was a bit of confusion in some of the solutions areas because we were trying to react. We were all trying to react to a situation that none of us had ever experienced with the pandemic. So we saw collaboration, we saw content creation mixing, we saw companies like myself trying to survive and creating online events. And that meant using the collaboration tools, using the conferencing tools, but also using those strong media tools to actually create good experiences for people who are used to in-person events. By the way, one of the things we learned was that when it comes to online events, whilst they're quite satisfying for the attendees, those people who actually pay for it, which are the exhibitors and the sponsors, haven't received much interaction. So whilst online events will still be part of that landscape, it's not going to be the main way for people to do business. We want to meet like this in person. Here again is looking at the post-pandemic situation and seeing those markets which are growing. And again, I think this is of interest to you to understand, if you're investing, if you're developing in areas, these are the ones which will see traction. These are the ones where it's worth paying attention to actually say, these are the growth areas. Again, we see the commercial AV market, so talking about offices, talking about companies, as being the strongest. And again, a CAGR from almost 6% for the future. We see other markets, other areas, other sectors growing as well. So the AV industry is coming back. So what does that mean to us? Well, I have to do the commercial plug here. It's a chance for me to tell you about why you should come to ISE and what you can learn from it. Here's some facts and figures. We had this year more than 58,000 attendees from, it says 150 here, but 170 countries. They are very senior. The show floor itself was a good bounce back from the pandemic. So we had enough exhibitors taking a lot of space to actually present new solutions. We had product launches back, so it was there. Our attendees are senior people. These are buyers. There are also people like you who are decision makers. We want to provide you with a platform to learn about what is going on in the industry, to learn about what is new so that you can create your business, your solutions, your ideas. Again, we are 80% of our attendees are from Europe. We have very strong attendance from China, from Middle East, from now Latin America, but primarily European. 80% of our attendees are from the main European countries. And when we look at the market, the strongest markets in Europe are firstly UK, then Germany, then France, then Italy. Spain comes down quite low, but it's growing. So for those of you who are Spanish-based, you're in a growing market, don't worry. Let's leave that on there. We are covering all aspects of AV. So you will see those various areas of development, solutions that are growing. Actually, it's the place where people are looking for these solutions. It's what our attendees are actually trying to find out about the market. So we're really trying to present what you can find out for your industry. I've lost something here. There we go. So a few testimonials from companies that you might know to tell you about ISE.
All the right technology, and there's so much energy. It's very exciting.
I only want to hear the sound of the earth. I only want to feel.
ISE is the place where the AV industry comes together. It's the start of the year, it's where the kickoffs happen, it's where the new products are launched, and where people come to learn and be inspired.
Generating business opportunities for all of us, which is fabulous. It's a booster for us for almost the entire year.
ISE is the show that everybody in the industry goes to. So if you want to go to a place where you're going to see all of your partners at the same time, this is the place to be.
The innovation here is just, it explodes. It's brilliant, fantastic.
And ISE creates an advantage to proposition our products all over the world.
We actually have attendance from more than 170 countries. We're seeing very large attendance coming from the Middle East, from Africa, now even Latin America.
So we have people from China, Singapore, Australia, South Africa. They don't mind making the journey because the show has such a huge audience.
I can describe ISE in one word, and that's connections. The conversations that we're having have been amazing. People from every market that you can think of, from higher ed into corporate and big Fortune 500 companies.
We see everybody from sports stadiums to shopping malls to cruise ship installers. The really interesting factors about being here is there's never the same conversation twice.
The amount of people that I can meet with, sit down with, have conversations with. You come here and you've got them.
One of our reasons to move to Barcelona was to give us the opportunity to grow. We have room for future growth to take this show to be much, much larger.
I always tell people that if they're gonna invest their time and their resources into any industry show, the ISE is gonna be the one that they need to go to.
So I have 3 seconds left. Perfect timing. I want to offer something to everybody here. We charge for attendance, but we believe you are the right people that should be at ISE. So if you have something to write, I want to give you a free code. It's ISE in capitals 2024 MIKE, M-I-K-E. Use that code to register, and then you won't have to pay. And I would love to welcome you in January to Fira Gran Via to meet our industry. Thank you.